Hello and welcome to Elting Memorial Library's weekly Storytime Recap with myself, Margaret. This week we read two books, the first one being The Smallest Girl in the Smallest Grade, and that was written by Justin Roberts and illustrated by Christian Robinson, and it was read with the permission of J.P. Putnam Sons and Penguin Books. This one is about a little girl who watches the world around her and notices that people aren't being as nice as they should be to each other, to themselves, to the environment around them, and she decides that she needs to make a stand and tell them how she feels about that. And our second book was Different, a story about loving your neighbor, and that was written by Chris Singleton with illustrations by Wiliam Luong, and it's actually published by Chris Singleton. And this is a book about a boy who moves across an ocean and goes to a new school, and on the first day is made fun of for being different, and how he goes on to realize that just because he is different doesn't mean he should be ashamed of himself. And so what I wanted to say about these two books for story time this week, and I think these are both really important messages that you need to not only be kind to others and love others, but you also need to be kind to yourself, which sometimes can be a little harder, actually. So as you go about your day and your week and the rest of your life, remember that it's always better to be kind. It's always better to be kind to others. It's always better to be kind to yourself. And that was it for story time this week. The only other thing I mentioned in story time was that if you liked hearing Steve on Storytime, our previous musical story times, he and his band performed for us for Music in the Garden last night. And they actually very kindly streamed it to the Betty and the Baby Boomers YouTube page. And while the songs they picked weren't necessarily what you would call children's songs, I'll say that as a kid growing up, it's the music that I listened to and I really enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. I know a number of kids that love listening to it. It's about an hour long, and you can kind of put it on and just give it a listen. You don't even really have to watch it, though there is some wonderful, beautiful imagery of the Hudson Valley, which is where we live. So I encourage you to check that out. And I said, if I haven't repeated this in a while, if there's ever a book on Storytime that we read or a song that we sing that you want to read again or sing again, let me know. I'm happy to pull together a people's favorites of Storytime and have that be the theme for the day. So thank you to everyone who checked in, and we will see you next week. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Goodbye.